Good morning, students. Welcome to my next class on amines. In the last objective class, we had discussed some of the questions related to the nomenclature and also the preparations of amines. In this class, we are going to study the properties of amines. So, from our material, it is the properties of amines. That is question number 34. Among the following isomers C4H11N amines, one having the lowest boiling point is. So this is the formula of this amine, that can be either a primary amine or secondary amine or a tertiary amine. Now which of the following will have the least boiling point? So I will write the amines given here. So this is the first amine, 1, 2, 3, 4 carbons and 1 nitrogen, and this is option A here, and the option B is and option C. What we have is look here, these are all isomers. So in this given isomers, we have this is a primary amine NH2, and this is a secondary amine, and this is a secondary amine, and this is a tertiary amine. So if you see the formula, all are having same formula. But what we have to find is which will have the least boiling point here. So we all know that among isomeric amines, primary amines will have the highest boiling point, because if you take NH2, here there are 2 hydrogens on nitrogen, so that NH bond is polar, so that it can form hydrogen bonding very easily. So NH bond is polar here, N will have a negative charge and hydrogen will have a positive charge. So that here there are 2 hydrogens on the primary amine. So that more number of hydrogens are there on nitrogen, more is the hydrogen bonding. So that primary amine will have the highest boiling point. Whereas if you take a secondary amine, they will have only 1 hydrogen. So that there is only one hydrogen bonding. So if you take the tertiary amine, there is no hydrogen bonding in it. So what will happen when there is hydrogen bonding? The intermolecular forces will be formed. So that more the number of hydrogen bonding, more will be the intermolecular hydrogen bonding, and so the boiling point will be more. So in case of a tertiary amine, there is no hydrogen bonding, so it will have the least boiling point. In case of a primary amine, there are more number of hydrogen bonding, intermolecular hydrogen bond. This is one molecule, so this molecule can form hydrogen bonding with another molecule, so that more the number of hydrogen bonding, more will be the intermolecular forces or intermolecular hydrogen bonding. So more is the boiling point. So among all these options, D will have the least boiling point. So what is here? It is methyl and ethyl here. So it is ethyl dimethylamine, dimethyl ethyl amine. It is 2 methyl groups and ethyl. So that it is dimethyl ethyl amine. So this will have the least boiling point. Let us go for the next question. Which of the following is the strongest base in aqueous solution? So which of the following is the strongest base in the aqueous solution? So here we have to recall the concept, basic nature of amines. So this is question number 35. What is the basic nature of amines? I told you that if you compare ammonia with alkyl amines and aryl amine, 5NH2 is aryl amine, I told you that alkyl amines are more basic than ammonia, and ammonia is more basic than aryl amines, aromatic amines. These are aliphatic amines. RNH2 is aliphatic here, and this is aromatic amine, and here it is ammonia. Why ammonia is a base? Because you know that it has a lone pair of electrons on it, and it can donate that lone pair so that it acts as a Lewis base. But the presence of alkyl groups increases the basic strength of amines. That means amines, aliphatic amines are more basic than ammonia. Why? Because there are alkyl groups. Alkyl groups are nothing but plus I groups. We all know that plus I groups increases the electron density so that it will become more dense, more basic. But if you take aliphatic amines, what will happen? Aromatic amines, in fact aromatic amines, what will happen? In aromatic amines, we all know that, for example, if you take aniline, you please recall the concept or refer to the conceptual videos, that is theory videos. Here this lone pair is delocalized. You all know that here resonance is possible on aromatic amines. Due to that resonance, this lone pair of electrons are less available because they are delocalized. That is the reason why these are least basic. So please refer to the theory videos. Now let us go to the question now. Here certain options are given. First one is methylamine. So here what is given? Methylamine is given here. First option is methylamine. Second option is trimethylamine. Trimethylamine. This is a trimethylamine. This is a second option, that is B. And third option is aniline. This is aniline. C6H5NH2, that is nothing but aniline. And the last option we have is dimethylamine. Dimethylamine. So here what are the options given? Methylamine, trimethylamine, aniline, dimethylamine is given, but it is given in the aqueous solution. Be careful. So as my explanation, what are more basic? All the aliphatic amines are more basic, and aromatic amines are less basic than even ammonia. So that here aniline is not the option. So what we have to, the question is which of the following is which one of the following is strongest base? That means most basic. So aniline is not the option because it is aromatic amine, which is the least basic than even ammonia and aliphatic amine. Among remaining three, it is in aqueous solution. If it is in gaseous phase, I told you that plus I groups increases the basic strength. Plus I group increase basic strength. Already we have studied in theory. So that here one plus I group is there in methylamine. Here three plus I groups are there. And here dimethylamine. Dimethyl means CH3 taken twice. NH is known as a dimethylamine. So as per only plus I groups, what you can say, trimethylamine has more plus I groups, 3 methyl groups, that is more basic. But the question is in aqueous solution. In aqueous solution, I told you that there is a steric hindrance. Steric hindrance means size of the alkyl group. So these alkyl groups cover the lone pairs on the nitrogen. Just recall the theory videos. So here trimethylamine should be more basic, but actually expected order is CH3 taken twice, NH, that dimethylamine, then it is methylamine, then it is trimethylamine, and that is ammonia. But here in the options ammonia is not given, so that in the list we can compare this. So expected is trimethylamine. But here what I said here, dimethylamine is more basic than methylamine is more basic than trimethylamine. Expected is trimethylamine, but due to the steric hindrance, stereochemical arrangement of the methyl groups, these methyl groups cover the nitrogen, so that the nitrogen, the lone pairs on nitrogen is less available for donation, and it will become least basic, and dimethylamine will become more basic. So why here steric hindrance is less, and also we have two alkyl groups. Here we have 3 alkyl groups, but more is the steric hindrance. So it has become the least basic. So the right option is dimethylamine. Let us go for the next objective question, that is question number 36. Here is one reaction given. So once you understand the concept clearly, all the objective questions can be done very easily. So that only thing is we have to go through the theory concepts. Now here the next question is, there is one equation given, CH3, this is question number 36, CH3, CH2NH2. What is the name of it? Ethylamine with the chloroform, that is the CHCl3 and KOH. This is alcoholic potassium. So what they had given, A plus B plus 3H2O is given. So what we require, the compounds A and B are respectively. Here what is A and what is B. Actually this is one of the identification tests for primary amines. This test is known as a carbylamine test. Carbylamine test. This is also known as isocyanide test because the product formed will be isocyanide. So when you treat a primary amine with the alcoholic KOH and chloroform, what is formed in this reaction? So CH3 isocyanide will be formed. CH3CH2NC is the isocyanide. Along with it 3 moles of KCl and water will be formed here. So here A is ethyl isocyanide here. So it is 3 KCl. So A and B are respectively, so isocyanide, that is ethyl isocyanide and KCl. So option A is the correct one. Therefore option A, that is ethyl isocyanide and potassium chloride, is the right option. So it's a direct equation based question. Carbylamine, very standard reaction. It's very useful in identifying the presence of aromatic primary amines. Let us go for the next question. During ammonolysis, primary amines act as, during ammonolysis. So here what is given? Ammonolysis reaction is given. Ammonolysis reaction. Primary amines act as, amines or primary amines act as, what is ammonolysis? For example, this is RX alkyl halide and I will take a primary amine. RNH2 is the general formula. So what will happen here? H and X will be removed and that X will be replaced with RNH minus. So what we get? RNHR. So here it is nothing but a nucleophile because X minus is the leaving nucleophile and RNH minus is the incoming nucleophile. So amines act as the nucleophiles here in this reaction. So what is the right option? First option itself is the nucleophile, or you can say even it as a Lewis base, but here it is a nucleophile. Let us go to the next objective question. Amines are reactive because difference in the electronegativity between nitrogen and hydrogen atom, presence of unshared electrons, both A and B, and none of the above. So in this question what is given? Why amines are reactive? Any amine. Why amines are reactive? Because they have lone pair of electrons. What will happen when they have lone pair of electrons? They will become the donors of electrons. Nothing but Lewis bases. And also there is a electronegativity difference between N and H. So that there is a polarity in the bond. So what we can say? These are the two reasons that there is a electronegativity difference between nitrogen and hydrogen leading to the polarity, and also it acts as a Lewis base. That is nothing but it is a Lewis base nucleophile. So this is the reason. So what difference between the electronegativity of nitrogen and hydrogen, and also presence of unshared electron pair. So that option C, both are the reasons. Option C is the right option. Now let us go for the next question. That 9th question here. Here dimethylamine is given. This is dimethylamine. NH here, CH3NH. What is done here? It is oxidized. The presence of H2SO5. So actually it is an oxidizing agent here. What is the product that we will get? So on oxidation, what we have to say is what is the product obtained here? So tetramethyl hydrazine, first option. Second one, no reaction. Dimethyl hydroxylamine, and last option is acetone. So what is the correct option? Dimethyl hydroxylamine is the right option. Due to oxidation here, hydroxam will be. Look here, NOH, not hydroxam, NOH, hydroxylamine. What is the formula of hydroxylamine? This is NH2OH is known as hydroxylamine. But here in place of hydrogens we have methyl groups, 2 methyl groups. So dimethyl hydroxylamine. Hydroxylamine means NH2OH. So dimethyl hydroxylamine means this is TH3NOH. Due to the oxidation here, it will be converted into OH here. So addition of oxygen. So this is the right option. So what is the right option here? Option C is the correct one. Let us go for the next reaction. This is nothing but simply an oxidation reaction. Next question number 40. So here is a tertiary amine given here. N is the functional group. It is a tertiary amine. What they have done? They have treated with O3. So some product A is formed. Again that A is heated. So A is heated to give a product B as well as an hydroxylamine is formed here. CH3OH. Look here, in the earlier equations also we got the product dimethyl hydroxylamine. Here also we got the product. Now what we require is what is A and B. What we need to find is here what is A is not asked here. What is B we have to identify here. What is B we need to identify here. So here actually due to this oxidation, first of all it will be oxidized. That means initially there is addition of oxygen here. So what will be the product formed here? Look here, the ring will be unaffected here and N will be oxidized here. So that NO will be formed here. This is CH3. This is the first step here. So nitrogen is extending its valency to 5 here. So look here it is oxidized. So what is the product here? So it is oxidized product here. So what will happen again on heating? Heating here due to rearrangement, what will happen here? One of the hydrogens here, you can see this carbon has one hydrogen. This will be moved on to here, so that it will become this hydrogen moving here. What will become here? NOH, and CH3 will remain. But here as it is losing hydrogen here, a double bond will be formed here. That means what will be B here? Look here. So here this carbon has lost hydrogen. So here it is a methylene group here. This is a methylene group, nothing but CH2 group. So that this CH2 will remain as it is, but here a double bond will be formed. Why? Because this carbon has lost its hydrogen. So that these are the products A and B. Not A is this one, and here this is the B product. So here D is the right option. Let us move to the question number 41. So here it is oxidation followed by heating. Heating will give a rearrangement here. Now let us move to the question number 41. Hinsberg reagent is. It is a direct question. Hinsberg reagent. What is Hinsberg reagent? C6H5SO2Cl. benzene sulfonyl chloride is known as a Hinsberg reagent. Actually, it is used to distinguish primary amines from secondary and tertiary. A primary amine will react with a Hinsberg reagent to give a compound which is soluble in KOH. First, a primary amine means, I will write first a primary amine give a product here. A product is that product is soluble in HCl, that is soluble in KOH, not HCl, KOH. So primary amine. A secondary amine will give a product that is insoluble in KOH. This is the difference, soluble in KOH, insoluble. Already we have it in theory, refer to the theory video again. Tertiary amine, there is no product here. So this is the difference. Primary amine will give a product that is acidic. This product formed will be acidic. Because as it is acidic, it can be soluble in KOH. Secondary amine will give a product with a Hinsberg reagent which is non-acidic, so that it will not be soluble in base like KOH. Tertiary amine will not react with Hinsberg reagent. Actually here amines react due to the hydrogens on them. So I will write one of the equations. Look here, CH3NH2. A primary amine is taken. I will take Hinsberg reagent. What is Hinsberg reagent? C6H5N2Cl. Now here what will happen? H and Cl will be removed. I am talking about primary amine. So now what we get here? CH3, here N, H, and here SO2, C6H5. So here we have a hydrogen here. This is called as acidic hydrogen. So why it is acidic hydrogen? Already explained in theory. Y is due to the polar group. Here S double bond Y is a polar group, so that this hydrogen has acidic character. It can be released in the form of a proton, so that it is acidic. As it is acidic, it is soluble in KOH. So this is the reaction in case of a primary amine. So primary amine gives a product. It is nothing but sulfonamide. The product name is here benzene sulfonamide. N alkyl. This is methyl group. So N methyl benzene sulfonamide. C6H5 SO2 NHCH3 is known as benzene sulfonamide. This is sulfonamide. C6H5 SO2 NH2 is sulfonamide here. But here NHCH3 is there, so that it is called as methyl N-methyl benzene sulfonamide. So this is benzene sulfonamide. So but here what will happen here? One of the alkyl group is replaced. So N-methyl benzene sulfonamide. But anyway we get a product that is acidic and it is soluble in case of in KOH, in case of a primary amine. But when you take a secondary amine, look here we are using a secondary amine, so that what will happen here also H and Cl will be removed. So we will get N, dimethyl benzene sulfonamide. But here we don't have any acidic hydrogens. Here on nitrogen we don't have any acidic hydrogens. Acidic hydrogen means the hydrogen that can be released in the form of a proton. So there are no hydrogens, so it is not acidic. So it will not be soluble in alcoholic KOH. KOH solution, aqueous. Secondary amines will give a product that will not be soluble in KOH. If you take tertiary amine, look here, tertiary amine, there is no hydrogen on it. So there is no reaction. So if you take tertiary amine, actually here the reaction is due to the hydrogen on the amino group, that is nitrogen. Primary amine has two hydrogens, so that it can react. Secondary amine have one hydrogen, it can react. But tertiary amines have no hydrogens on nitrogens directly, so that here no reaction. So this is all about the Hinsberg reagent and its test. Now let us go to the question here. After understanding the concept, what you can say? Primary amine Hinsberg reagent is aromatic sulfonyl chloride. So this is what? This is aromatic sulfonyl chloride. This is aromatic sulfonyl. Hinsberg reagent is nothing but aromatic sulfonyl chloride. Now let us go to the next question. That is question number 42. It is also a question based on the Innsbruck reagent. Let us see what is that. Primary amine with Innsbruck reagent form. Now I have discussed. Primary amine with Innsbruck reagent form. N-alkyl benzene sulfonamide. Yes, that is the right option. Now only I have written a primary amine reacts with benzene sulfonyl chloride. It is benzene sulfonyl chloride what I am writing. So I told you that one H and Cl will be removed. Here one H and Cl will be removed. So what we will get here are N and H here and here SO2 and C6H5. N-alkyl, this is alkyl group. So N-alkyl benzene sulfonamide will be the product. So primary alkyl amines will give N-alkyl benzene sulfonamide as the product. Again, that can be soluble in water. Why? Due to the presence of these acidic hydrogens. Now let us move to the next question. That is question number 43. The solubility of C6H5NH3Cl, anilinium hydrogen chloride. C6H5NH2 is aniline. C6H5NH2 is aniline, that is basic. When you treat with HCl, what will get? C6H5NH3Cl, anilinium hydrogen chloride will be formed here. So E is highest among the following solvents. The solubility, so we have to check the solubility of the salt. That is highest in case of first one, acidic buffer of pH 3, basic buffer of pH 10, neutral buffer of pH 7, pure water. So the right option is basic buffer of pH 10. pH 10 means here it is basic. Actually here the salt is formed from a weak base and a strong acid. So when you dissolve here, it will form an acidic solution, because here it is formed from a strong base, acid. So that here when you dissolve this salt in water, we will get a strong acid that will be easily soluble in a base. So that here the right option is basic buffer of pH is equals to 10. Now let us go to the next question. That is question number 44. Tertiary amines with Innsbruck reagent give. Now only I told you primary amine, secondary amine, tertiary amine, how they will react with the tertiary amine. Innsbruck reagent. First option is no reaction. Second one is produce, which are same as that of primary amine. Third option produces which are same as that of a secondary amine. And last option produces which are same as a quaternary ammonium salt. Actually, what is the right option? Tertiary amines do not react with Innsbruck's reagent. The reason is already explained, because that have no hydrogens, no reaction here. So what is the right option? No reaction is the right option, because in Innsbruck reagent the nitrogen should have at least one hydrogen to form the product. So what is the right option here? No reaction. Now let us go for the next objective question. That is question number 45. Now what we had discussed is 44. Now we are moving to 45. So here is a sequence reaction is given, that is ethyl chloride CH3 CH2Cl is given, that is reacting with the sodium cyanide NaCN, and again that is treated with it is giving a product X, and that is reduced with nickel and hydrogen, and it is giving a product Y, and again it is treated with acetic anhydride. You know, acetic anhydride means CH3 CO taken twice O, acetic anhydride, and it is giving a product Z. And this above reaction, what are what we have to find out is what is the end product we have to find. So here some options are given. First of all, we try here. So here CH3, CH2, Cl, Cn will be substituted in place of Cl minus, a nucleophilic substitution. So that what is the first product here? We get CH2Cl. On treating with NaCN, what will be formed? CH3, CH2Cn, ethyl cyanide will be formed. This cyanide and reduction here, it is a reduction here. Reduction means here C triple bond N is there. So you can add hydrogens here. So that what will happen here? CH3, CH2. If you add hydrogen to carbon here, it will become CH2. On addition of hydrogen to nitrogen, it will become 2 molecules of hydrogen, 2 moles of hydrogen can be added here. That will give CH2, NH2. Nothing but propylamine. This propylamine, what we are doing again, we are treating with acetic anhydride. So what will happen? One hydrogen will be removed here. So that look here, CH3, CH2, NH. So here 2 hydrogens are there. One hydrogen will be removed. CH3, CO and O and one hydrogen. It will give CH3. So I will write the one is acetic acid here. Why? CH3, CO, O and one H. That is CH3COH. Now what is left over here? CH3, CH2, CH2, NH. Because already we have removed one hydrogen. And what is remaining here? CO, CH3. So look here, CH3, CH2, CH2, NH, CO, CH3 will be. Just hydrogen is replaced in its place as COCH3. Is nothing but acetylation here. One hydrogen is removed, in its place one COCH3 is introduced. One COCH3 will be combining with hydrogen to give acetic acid. So what is the right option here? So we have the first option itself is the right option. It is nothing but an amide. So CONH here. So it's an amide NHCOC3. So that here the right option is A itself is the right option. Now let us go for the next question. Is question number 46 here. We are discussing question number 46. Which of the following is the decreasing order of the boiling points? So which of the following is the decreasing order of the boiling points? First, ethyl methylamine is given. Ethyl methylamine is given. This is the formula. First option. Second, not first option, first molecule. Second one is N-butylamine. N-butyl, CH3, CH2, CH2, NH2. This is N-butylamine. This is second molecule. And the third one is a diethylamine. Diethylamine. This is nothing but diethylamine. What I am writing is diethylamine. Now what they have asked is which of the following is the correct decreasing order of the boiling points? Correct decreasing order. So all are isomers only. All are isomers. If you see its molecular formula, one second here. So first option, one second I will read here. Ethyl dimethylamine here. Ethyl dimethylamine. So this is N-butylamine and this is N-ethylamine. So which will have the highest, more the branching, least will be the boiling point. Please remember that boiling point will be more when more hydrogens are there on nitrogen. Because when more hydrogens are there on nitrogen, there is more extensive hydrogen bonding, so that the strong, more number of intermolecular hydrogen bondings are formed, and so more will be the boiling point. So boiling point is directly proportional to the extent of intermolecular hydrogen bonding. That is more in case of tertiary amine, primary amine here, because that has 2 hydrogens. Next comes here, it's a secondary amine here. Because one hydrogen is there, there will be hydrogen bonding. Here there is no hydrogen bonding, So what you can say here, 2 will have the highest boiling point, then 3 will have the next highest boiling point, and then 1 will have the least boiling point. Why? There is no hydrogen bonding. So what is the right option? 2 2, 3, 1. So A itself is the right option. Very simple thing is, more the hydrogens on the nitrogen. If you take isomeric amines, these are all isomers, same molecular formula. Or you can say that a primary amine will have more boiling point than a secondary amine than a tertiary amine if they have the same molecular formula. Why is boiling point is directly proportional to the extent of hydrogen bond. So this is all about the concept. We'll continue in the next class. Thank you.